Chelsea went into this game knowing that a draw would be enough to secure Champions League football next season. They were all over the place.
Yeah, but listen, we looked at their fixtures and we thought, whoa, I mean, we know Liverpool had a poor performance by their standards at Arsenal. We know they've sort of gone down a gear since the title's been wrapped up. That's just normal. But there was no way they were going to turn up with a half-hearted performance on the night that they were going to be presented the Premier League trophy. They did not want to be doing that at home with a bad result. And that was the big problem for Chelsea, along with their defending. Look, we've talked about Timo Werner. We've talked about Hakan Ziyech coming in from Arsenal. We've talked about the possibility that's been mooted recently of Kai Havertz coming in. That's all good and well. But you look at their defence again, you look at the goal difference this season, you look at the decisions that they're making. Frank Lampard's gone to a back three the last couple of games. It worked against Man United, but it didn't work against Liverpool because it's a completely different kettle of fish, the way their front three moves and the runners come from the middle of the park. But you know what epitomises it for me? When you've got a player like Jorginho for the fifth goal, who from a Liverpool set piece, who knows Andy Robertson's a flying machine, but still dives in for a nibble at a challenge, rather than just buying himself 5 or 10 yards and holding up the play till reinforcements come back. Absolutely summed up some of the stupid defending that Chelsea have been doing recently. And listen, they've got Wolves at the weekend at home, and they got a couple of guys, if not more than that. One, Raul Jimenez, and the second one, Adama Traore, who'll be licking their chops looking at some of that Chelsea defending. So he's got to fix that before Sunday, or he's got some big problems.
Stevie, Chelsea are on course for their worst defensive record ever in the Premier League.
Not surprised. Frank's got a huge decision to make before this Wolves game. You know, we all know that he can't put a back four together that can defend. He's tried 3, he's tried 4. It's not happening. In my opinion, the only thing he can do is absolutely block the middle of the park and make sure that nobody gets anywhere near the back four. You know, yes, they can score goals. Yes, they're good at going forward. But when the middle of the park can't defend, your back line can't defend, and you've got a goalkeeper who's having all kinds of questions thrown at him, he has to make a decision. It's either guns blazing and go for it and try and score more goals than you're letting in, or you absolutely try and just shut up in the middle of the park and play. Just play tight. Get your point. Who cares if you get it? Regardless of how you get it, just somehow you've got to get it.
It's a proper test for your boy Frank. Don?
No, it is. And they've cost themselves at the start of the season and the midpoint of the season, where they should have been home and hosed. They should have been in the Champions League, sitting in third quite comfortably. They lost against Southampton at home. Bournemouth beat them at home. West Ham done the double over them. So at the bridge, when they really needed a win and to secure 3 points to give themselves a little bit of distance, they couldn't do it. They're inexperienced. Listen, Antonio Conte had it right when he was at Chelsea, because he looked at the personnel and he thought Marcos Alonso can't play as a left back. You know, Andreas Christensen can't play in a 2. So he had it right where he played 3 centre halves, and he played 2 wing backs, and he had good players in the middle of the park. And I look at Frank now, and he tried that tonight, which worked against Man United in the FA Cup semi-final, and it worked a treat because they were really, really sort of defensive and they broke on the counter. I think they'll get lucky. I said since match day 1, when I seen them just before that in the Super Cup, that they're a good side, and I fancied them for top 4. And that's no bias towards Frank. I just think the team that he's got and the individuals that he's got, and Christian Pulisic has to start that game. He was terrific in the second half. So he's got a few dilemmas in his starting 11, but I think he'll get lucky in terms of, I don't think Leicester, without Pereira and without Maddison, beat Man United. So I think by default, they'll probably end up in the top 4.
Who had Don bringing up the Super Cup once again in the sweepstakes? I think it was.
But Leicester don't need to beat Man United, Don. Leicester only need a draw against Man United. If Chelsea lose, they've got a better goal difference. So there's a lot of scenarios there.
That's true.
You know, so Chelsea can't. You know, that could easily be a draw at the King Power, because they're two relatively evenly matched teams. And then Chelsea, I have no confidence to sit here and say they will keep a clean sheet at home against this Wolves side, who, by the way, are still getting pushed by Tottenham for the Europa League places. So that's important to them. And we know about the pace of Traore. We know about Raul Jimenez running in behind. These are all issues for Lampard. I'm wondering whether he rips it all up and goes back to the back four again. But then who's that back four in personnel? Does he keep Reece James at right back? Does he drop his skipper Azpilicueta? Does he go for the experience? Does he bring Emerson back into a flat back four? Because we know Alonso's better as a wing back. And then the big conundrum, if he's got two centre halves, is which two is it? We know he's got no N'Golo Kante to cover in front, and that's a big issue as well. So, look, Chelsea are super excited going forward. That isn't the issue. The issue is clear and obvious, and like, they've got it all to play for on Sunday, trust me.
Last thing on Chelsea, Pulisic coming on, making the difference. Their best player at the moment, Stevie?
By a country mile. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing he didn't start because he's had a knock, and they weren't going to take a chance. So, yeah, I mean, it's incredible, isn't it, in such a short space of time, how he's gone from, is this kid going to get in the team to, this kid better be playing, he better be first on the team sheet, because right now he is definitely first on the team sheet.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for live streaming and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.